Right, guys. So Frank Warren says that Deontay Wilder, the trilogy, will not be held behind closed doors. So that's the Deontay Wilder Tyson Fury trilogy. Frank Warren says that it will not be held behind closed doors. So jab that subscribe button, smash that like button, drop your comments in the comment section below. Let me see what you guys think about this one. Frank Warren saying that the fight will not happen if there's no fans. What Frank Warren says, where's his comments? Not a fight of that magnitude. Wilder and Fury was the highest grossing heavyweight fight to ever take place in Vegas. We just can't lose that gate. It's a huge amount of money. We need the gate, or come up with a scenario where there's a huge site fee for from a territory to take it, and we use it to promote their country. We are looking at those situations. So Frank Warren saying that this fight is not happening if there's no fans. Obviously, the situation out there in the USA, or the US of A, they like to call it, is very, unpredictable right now. We don't know what it's going to be looking like in December 19th, if the fight is going to be able to go ahead. And, we can't have fights, set to take place, hopefully, with fans in Vegas in December 19th. Then all of a sudden, the fight can't take place and everyone's bought their tickets already. So Frank Warren need to be sure that this fight is going to actually be able to have fans in place for it to take place in Vegas, December 19th, which is the date that's been proposed. And I can understand, to be honest, where Frank Warren is coming from. Deontay Wilder, and versus Tyson Fury is arguably, the second biggest fight behind Fury versus AJ. And for a fight like that, which would be, as people are talking about Raw, I don't want to see the fight. We've seen it 3 times. Trust me, people's going to buy the pay-per-view to watch Wilder Fury 3. And for the pay-per-views, and, for the gate, to fill up that, potentially the Ali Giant Arena in Vegas, as Frank Warren said, they can't afford to lose that gate. They need the money. This ain't no Dylan White versus Povetkin. This is arguably the second biggest fight in heavyweight boxing today, outside of AJ Fury, like I said. So I can agree with, Frank Warren saying we need the gate. Obviously, from a fan's perspective, I just want to see the fight. I don't care if they fight in Vegas. I don't care if they fight in Nicaragua. I don't care if they fight in Brazil. I don't care if they fight in, even in Samoa, some New Zealand, some remote island somewhere. I just want to see the fight. But obviously, there's business to take care of. And Frank Warren wants the highest potential cut he can get from the fight. Because what if Tyson Fury is to lose? Or Deontay Wilder's not to win himself. All camps want their fair share of the pie. If their fight is not to win, they want to make as much money as possible. That it trickles down to all the other guys, and also the fighters want to generate as much money as possible so they can take away, a big amount of money in their pockets at the end of the day. So Frank Warren saying that the fight's not going to happen if there's no crowd. And do you guys agree with it? Do you guys agree with Frank Warren saying that there'll be no Wilder Fury trilogy held behind closed doors, saying it has to be, fans have to be, in the stands? They're talking about potentially having maybe to 12,000, 20,000 fans safely in the Allegiant Arena in, the Raiders Stadium, in Vegas. But if cases start rising, and we're talking about lockdowns and things happening, we don't want everyone building up to the fight. We have press conference and everything, and before you know it, to say there's no fight. That'll absolutely be disappointing. It will mess up the calendar, of so many other, fights that's meant to happen, mandatories and whatnot, or Tyson Fury meant to take on, AJ, because contractually he has to fight Deontay Wilder before AJ. And Tyson Fury came out himself a few days ago talking about he has to fight Deontay Wilder. So we don't want things getting pushed back too far. We already got, Chisora taking on Usyk. AJ's, potentially going to take on Pulev. Eddie Hearn's already talking about the fight's going to happen here regardless. So, Frank Warren, he says he wants the crowd. And doesn't Eddie Hearn want the gate? But he knows that this fight is probably not going to happen for a long time if we don't get the fight happening now. And we can't just be delaying fights. What, are we going to delay this Wilder Fury fight all the way to summer 2021? A decision has to be made if it's going to have to happen behind closed doors. We have to get something done here. Can't be pushing fights back all the way into late 2021 or summer 2021. That's far, man. We need to see what's going to happen. So drop your comments in the comment section below. What do you think about Frank Warren saying that this fight is going to have to happen behind closed doors? Because these are the comments of Frank Warren. We don't know what Bob Arum thinks. We don't know about what Deontay Wilder's team thinks. you know. So both sides need to get to something sorted out, get this fight done, and get something agreed, because they are looking at, this, no, December 19th, because is Vegas the only place that this fight can take place? Because Sweden's available. We could get a decent, social distance crowd in Sweden. What about, the Middle East? Could get something done there for the Middle East out there in Saudi. Maybe we could, get top Frank Warren and Bob Arum rivaling Eddie Hearn in Saudi, to get this fight held out there. Many things to look into. But drop your comments in the comment section below. What do you think about Frank Warren's comments? I just want to see the fight. Do you guys just want to see the fight? Obviously, there's business to take care of, but I just want to see the fight. So drop your comments again. Cool.